Hey, Tyler, are you there? I just wanted to let you know that the hospital let me out. You know, now that I'm done giving birth to our children and all.
Oh, really? I didn't know they were going to be letting you out today. I thought I would have a little bit more time to myself.
Well, I am out of the hospital today. They tell me that I've recovered and there's no point in being here anymore.
Darn. I really did think that they were going to keep you there for just a little bit longer.
Tyler, we talked about this. Before I went into the hospital, you asked me about how long I thought I would be in there, remember? I told you that in most cases they tend to not keep mothers and their babies there at the hospital for more than a week. But more important than that, you said you were going to come and pick me up and take me home. Don't tell me you forgot.
Oh, darn, I guess I did say something like that, didn't I?
Tyler, what is the matter with you? You really need to pull yourself together. I mean, you're a father now, don't you realize that? Not only that, but you're a father to twins. I know that this is the first time for us both being parents, but this right now is not giving me a lot of hope for the future. You've got to pull yourself together.
Why don't you just settle down there, okay? I'm sure that you're not supposed to be getting all uppity like that right after you've had a child, right? I can't be good for you.
Excuse me? Who do you think you are talking to me like that when you're the one who forgot to come pick up your wife and 2 children?
Yeah, I guess you might have a point there.
Ugh, I literally can't even with you sometimes, Tyler. Well, can you at least tell me where you are right now? Are you at home? Are you still at work? Where are you?
Sorry, I'm just a little busy right now, and I don't think I'm going to be able to come and get you all. Maybe just call a cab or something?
What do you mean you're busy? You're too busy to come and pick up your wife and meet your 2 children for the first time ever? What could you possibly be so busy with that you can't come and get us? And just where are you anyways?
I'm actually in Hawaii right now.
What do you mean you're in Hawaii? Is that supposed to be some kind of joke? Why are you over there?
Well, because I'm traveling around with an old friend of mine. That's why.
What do you mean an old friend? Who on earth could you be with right now? Unless you're not talking about your childhood neighbor. What's her name? Danny?
You guessed it. I'm with Danny right now. She actually moved kind of nearby recently because of a promotion she got in her job, and we reconnected around then.
Well, is there anyone else that the 2 of you are there with right now?
Not at all. It's just the 2 of us together right now.
Hold on a second. So you're telling me that you've abandoned your wife and newborn children so that you could go on some island getaway with your old friend? How could you do this to us? What's the matter with you, Tyler? This is just unacceptable.
You really are reading way too much into this. Why do you always freak out over the smallest things, huh? Besides, you want to talk about being worried for the future when you're talking to me like this? How am I supposed to feel good about you as the mother of our children when you're telling me that you can't even take care of 2 kids on your own?
Are you kidding me right now? You're telling me that I'm not doing enough for us right now?
I mean that I've been talking to Danny a lot about becoming parents, and she had plenty to tell me about having twins. She told me that even though they're born on the same day, it's basically the same as having 2 kids over the course of a few years. You always said you wanted to have 2 kids, and now you have them. So if you really meant what you said, then I don't see why having twins and taking care of them by yourself would really be that much of a big deal. Besides, they're twins. They have a special bond between them that probably makes it even easier than just raising 1 kid would be.
What on earth are you talking about? Do you really think that any of that is true? You can't be serious, right?
I'm just saying that I don't think you should be crying about how you can't do things when you haven't even given it a shot.
It's not that I'm saying I can't do it. It's that you're their father and my husband, and I want you here to help me.
Oh, sorry. Danny is saying that it's time to go. I don't really have time to keep up this conversation anymore.
Tyler! You aren't just going to leave me like this, are you? You wouldn't dare.
I'm really sorry, Erica, but if you can't calm down and act like a responsible parent, then maybe you and I should get divorced.
What? A divorce? Right after we had our children? What is the matter with you?
I mean, it's only 2 little babies and you're acting like I'm asking you for some kind of impossible task or something. But I think that you should be really grateful to Danny and I for giving you this chance to get so much experience with raising children. So I just hope that this encourages you and that you can learn to get over yourself and do what's best for our family, okay? Anyways, I've got to go. Have a good time with the kids.
I should be grateful to you and Danny? Do you really think that I don't see what you're doing here, Tyler? But fine, I understand. You have a good trip. I'll have so much to tell you when you get back.
Hey, Danny, how are things going? Are you still getting your pedicure done?
No, I just finished a little bit ago, actually. Right now I'm just sitting in the hotel lobby, sipping on some coffee and just enjoying the lovely weather. But I'll be back up there soon, don't you worry.
Okay, sounds good to me. Thanks for letting me know.
But I thought I told you that I was going to go up to the room when I was done anyways, right? I'm just curious, was there a particular reason why you reached to me like this when you knew I wouldn't be much longer?
Well, actually, I got a message from my wife. Apparently, she was let out of the hospital today.
Oh, really? I see. Is that it? What do you want me to do about it?
No, it's no big deal or anything. I just wanted to let you know that I told Erica about the things that you were telling me. Like how twins are basically just like skipping ahead to having 2 kids, and how this is a good chance for Erica to gain some experience as a mother and all that.
I see. Well, I'm glad that I was able to be of some help to you, too. Anyways, I'm just about ready to head back up to the room. I can't wait for you to see all the work that I ended up having done at the salon. I promise to give you a good look at it all.
Oh, wow, I can't wait. I'll get the room ready for you then. You go ahead and do that, Danny, because after I go up, I'm not going to want to leave the room until the next morning. So get ready.
Oh, wow. I can't wait for that. See you in a bit then.
Hey, Erica, are you there? What the heck is going on here? I got back home today. I'm standing in front of our house, but my key doesn't seem to work on the lock. What's this about?
Oh, you're finally back from your trip. Well, let me be the first to say welcome back, Tyler. But I'm afraid that I don't live in that apartment any longer.
What are you talking about? You moved somewhere new?
Well, I just mean that I lived in that apartment even before you and I were together, and when you moved in, it was already pretty cramped. But now that I have these twins to hurry about, I just figured that it was time that I moved somewhere bigger, somewhere I could raise a family. So I canceled our lease and moved into the place where I'm at now.
Oh, I see. But could you at least tell me where it is that you moved to?
You want me to tell you the address of the new place where I'm living? Nah, I'm okay, thanks.
But I don't understand. Why wouldn't you want me to know where it is that you're living right now?
Well, I guess I'm just still trying to take advantage of the chance you gave me to learn how to be a good mother to these twins. In fact, I don't think that we should see each other at all until I've really gotten the hang of this.
But wait. When will that be? Because you're making it sound like it's going to be a really long time.
Oops, one of the twins started crying. I've got to go now, but it's been nice catching up.
Just 1 second. I haven't even seen my children once, and now you're telling me I'll have to meet them? And now you're telling me I'll have to wait even longer to meet them? Come on, just tell me where you're living now. Where am I supposed to go if you got rid of our apartment?
What is the matter with you, Tyler? Why did you just show up to my place completely unannounced?
Danny, finally. I was wondering when you were going to text me. Who was that guy I saw you with? What were the two of you doing together?
You know that I live with my husband, Tyler. Don't play dumb. I thought I told you that you were never, ever to come over to my house except the days that I tell you he's not going to be there.
Wait, so that guy was your husband then?
Of course he is. Or was. I don't know anymore, thanks to you, now that he knows about the affair. Do you have any idea what you've cost me? Here I was, thinking that I finally settled things with a man who was in line to be the next president of his company. But now you might have ruined this for me.
Don't go blaming that on me. How was I supposed to know any of that? Besides, I don't even have a place to go back home to. That's why I had to go to your house.
Well, there is no place for you here, so just go away and leave me alone for a bit.
But I'm telling you that I don't have anywhere that I could even go back to. And my parents live on the other side of the country, so I can't even go to them for help either. I don't have anywhere I can go.
Well then, go rent a room at a hotel or something, and then tomorrow you can go fly away to be with your parents. But just know that if my marriage gets ruined because of this, you're going to be in big, big trouble.
Erica, are you there? Please, you have to get back to me right away. Did you tell my parents that I was having an affair with Danny?
Sorry, what are you going on about now, Tyler?
Now you listen to me. Thanks to you canceling the lease on your apartment, I didn't have anywhere that I could go home to. So I bought a plane ticket to go and try to stay with my parents, but when I got there, both of them were furious with me and my mom even slapped me in the face. Not only that, but even my little brother was shoving me around because he was so upset. Then my dad walked up to me, told me that they were going to take me out of their will, and then kick me out of their house.
Oh, wow. Well, it sounds to me like you've found yourself in quite the mess, haven't you?
What is that supposed to mean? Did you have something to do with this? I knew that you did.
Before we get into that can of worms, you should know that both your parents came to my parents' house to apologize to me.
My parents visited you? Just to apologize?
That's right. They did all of this about 2 days ago. I think they might have felt compelled to do so after I showed them all the information my private detective had on you. Then I told them about how I was going to divorce you because of what he found, and well, I guess you know the rest.
You hired someone to follow and collect information on me? Why would you do that?
Now why do people hire PIs to follow their spouses? Let's think about that, shall we?
You mean you knew about Danny and I?
Knew about you two? Oh, please, you hardly even bothered trying to hide it from me. The PI ended up giving me a discounted rate by the time he finished all his work. He said you made it too easy for him and that he felt bad charging me the full price. But anyways, since I have all this evidence, it isn't going to be hard at all to sue the two of you for your affair.
Okay, let's just calm down a little bit here, Erica. I mean, you don't really want to sue us, right? You wouldn't dare. Please, I thought that it was really going to be easy for you to raise those kids. I never thought that you were going to divorce me over this.
Do you really think I was ever buying any of that nonsense that you were trying to sell me?
What do you mean by that?
I mean about you saying that having twins is fine for people who wanted 2 kids in the first place because it's just like a shortcut to having them. Or that because of the bonds twins have, that it might even be easier than raising a single baby on my own? You think I was listening to any of that garbage that you were trying to justify your own actions with?
What do you mean? I really thought it was all true. I mean, that's what Danny told me was true anyways.
And just what in the world does she even know about having twins? And how are you trying to get out of being there for your children while putting it all on me? You're a pathetic excuse for a father and a husband. Do you know that?
You don't really mean that, do you? Please. I had no idea that you were going to get so upset over this.
Oh, I am way past being upset about this. But right now, the only thing that I want from you is your signature on our divorce papers.
Divorce? Please, you can't really mean that, right? I mean, you were just going on about how difficult it's going to be to raise twins on your own. How are you going to raise our kids if I'm not there to help you?
No, please. It's clear to me now that I would never ever be able to count on you in the first place.
But I'm their father. How can you say that?
Oh, so now you want to be a father to your children? It sure didn't seem that way when I was in labor. You were busy running away to Hawaii to cheat on me while I did all the hard work. And I'm sure you do the same thing over and over again.
Of course I wouldn't. Don't you see that I'm trying to fix things right now? I want to be there for you and the kids now.
Well, you can explain your side of the story to my lawyer, because I'm done with this.
I mean, you really already hired a lawyer for all of this?
Of course I did. Not to mention that I sent all of your things from my apartment to Danny's address.
You did what?
Well, it sounds to me like since your parents don't want you around, she's all you have left. Anyways, after I sue the both of you, I don't really care what happens to either of you. So have a nice life, Tyler. In the end, all of Tyler's things were delivered to Danny's house, and her already suspicious husband had all the proof he needed that something was up. I reached out to him in secret and shared the files my PI had gathered, and then he knew the whole truth. We both decided to sue Tyler and Danny for their affairs behind our backs, and we both got a big payout for all their dishonesty. I also made sure that Tyler would have to pay child support for both our children until they became adults. After her divorce, I'm not sure what happened to Danny. I heard that she tried to move back in with her parents, but that they had already heard about how she cheated. Like Tyler's family, they berated her with disappointment and finally kicked her out of the house forever. Tyler, meanwhile, fell into so much debt after the lawsuit and divorce that he had to take on a second job to afford all his payments. I hear that with no place to go, he had to move into a tiny apartment where he lives all by himself. The only reminder I have that he exists at all are the checks I get in the mail monthly. After I moved out of my apartment, I ended up moving back in with my parents for the time being. I was so distraught just having the twins and losing my husband all in the same short span of time. But I was so lucky that they happily took me in. It's much easier to raise children when you have a support network of people willing to step up for you. I've already moved out, however, finding a job in an apartment large enough for my children and I to live in. But we still live close enough for me to ask my parents to babysit when I need them to. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.
Angela, is Dan okay? I'm a bit worried about him. We were supposed to meet today, but I haven't been able to get into contact with him. I really need to see him today, no matter what. It's quite the emergency. Oh, hi, Sandra. I'm so sorry. The thing is, I wasn't feeling very well today, and Dan has been taking care of me at home all day. Oh, is that so? If that's the case, please give Dan back his phone. I would like to get in touch with him. I think there's a misunderstanding or something because I don't have Dan's phone with me. Then why hasn't he been responding to any of my messages? It's just not like him. I mean, this really is an emergency. I need to talk to him. The sooner the better. I really do apologize. I'll tell him to contact you as soon as possible. It seems like he had just forgotten to respond to you. I apologize on his behalf. I've kept him quite busy today. No, it's fine. Your health is more important, so I'm glad he's taking care of you. You're pregnant, so it makes sense that Dan would prioritize you over anyone else. Yes, I'm really glad that Dan is by my side. I don't know what I would do without him. But I'm really sorry about today. He should have let you know earlier. Please don't apologize, dear. It's really okay. I understand the situation now, so could you do me a favor and make sure Dan calls me sometime soon? You want him to call you? Yes, I just thought that it wouldn't be too hard to make a quick call from home while he's taking care of you. I won't ask anything more. Just one call. Like I said, it really is an emergency. But I guess if you don't want him making calls right now, I don't have any other choice but to respect that. Oh, no! I don't mind at all. Of course, you guys should talk on the phone. In fact, why don't I just tell him to go see you? I've been feeling a lot better, so it wouldn't be a problem at all. Oh, really? I feel bad for taking him away from you. Are you sure you don't mind? I'm sure you're going through a lot right now and need Dan to look after you. Oh, it's completely okay. Please don't worry about it. Dan promised you to meet, so he should keep his promise. You are such a wonderful wife. I'm really glad Dan married you. Okay then. If Dan can come see me right now, that would be great. I'm sorry again for the trouble. No need to apologize. It's really no problem at all.
Hey, Angela. I'm picking some things up from the store. Need anything?
No, I'm good. Thank you so much for asking.
Sure. You been feeling okay?
I think I'll be okay. It seems like the baby is okay as well. It still hurts a bit where I got hit, but other than that, I'll be able to have the baby without any problems.
I see. I'm really glad everything is okay. I've been so worried about you. Who in the world would do something so atrocious? It's just vile. I swear, if I ever find who did this, I don't know what I'd do to them.
It's okay, Dan. Just stay by my side. The police are investigating the incident and they will handle everything. I'm just so relieved the baby is safe. I feel so much better just knowing that.
Still, how can I stay calm in a situation like this? To barge into the house and assault you and the baby? No matter how you look at it, it's just completely absurd. Not to mention utterly infuriating. Do you still remember what the guy looked like?
I told the police everything, but his face was hidden. I don't have anything to identify him by.
Damn it. What am I supposed to do now?
Don't worry about it, Dan. Just leave it to the police to handle things. I really need you right now. I know you have a lot on your mind, but the only thing I want from you is for you to hold my hand through this.
Okay. For now, I'll just head to the hospital. I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Dan. I'm really happy I get to see you today.
Angela, I need to tell you something, and it's not going to be easy to hear.
Oh, what happened? Aren't you at work right now?
I took the day off work. Or should I say, it was a no-call, no-show. Anyways, that's not important. I found out something about the incident.
You did? What about the incident?
First of all, there were apparently 2 people there. One was the lookout, who stayed outside the whole time.
There were 2 people? I thought there was only one guy involved, so that's what I told the police.
I actually got a message from one of the 2 people involved in the incident. The lookout. He saw the details of what happened on the news and decided to call us.
He called us? Why would he call after committing such a crime?
He couldn't handle the guilt after everything that happened. The 2 guys are part of a crime syndicate, working odd jobs as a cover-up during the day. Apparently, the guy who called didn't know that the job involved punching a pregnant woman.
The job? I don't understand.
Someone hired them to make sure you have a miscarriage. And the person who hired them?
Who was it? Did you find out?
It was my mother.
What? Your mother? What in the world?
I know. I was so shocked, it took a while to process.
Please tell me everything you know.
I don't know how, but my mother was able to get into contact with one of the guys through her connections. After the guy got paid, he headed to our house to do the job. He took one of his subordinates to make sure someone was on the lookout, but didn't tell him what the job involved.
Does that mean the reason why your mother wanted to see you that day?
Yeah. She wanted to make sure you were all alone at the house. The names of the 2 guys are Jones and Manson.
This guy, Manson. What's he going to do now?
When he called me earlier, he told me he was going to turn himself in. It's only a matter of time before Jones is arrested as well. I also already contacted the police. I'm sure my mother will be taken in any time soon.
Why would your mother do something like this? I can't believe it. She was always so kind to me.
A few years ago, my mom started acting a bit strange after my dad passed away. I guess she couldn't handle the grief of losing him and started becoming attached to me as a result, I think, since I'm her only son and all. She had always been a bit overprotective since I was little, but it just got worse and worse these past few years.
How do you mean by worse? How?
She never let it out in front of you, but she would always talk about you behind your back. She was always complaining about how much she didn't like you and how much she disapproved of you as my wife. She was also against us having a child together. She would throw fits about it all the time. By the time you were already in your last month of pregnancy, it seemed like she had given up and accepted the fact that the child was going to be born. That's why I let down my guard and I thought everything was okay. I never in my wildest dreams thought she was capable of something like this.
Does that mean that your mom was afraid that once the baby was born, you wouldn't have time for her anymore?
I'm almost certain that's the case here. She always wanted me to prioritize her over anyone else. I should have noticed earlier. The signs were all there. Damn it!
It's not your fault at all, Dan. Please don't blame yourself for this. I also was so focused on having our child that I might have been neglecting your mom a bit as well. I could have been more attentive. That's why I can understand if she doesn't like me.
That's not true at all. You've been nothing but kind and respectful towards my mother. Even though you were pregnant, you did your best to make sure my mother felt satisfied. There's no reason for her to disapprove of you. With you carrying our baby, you are my priority, no matter what. So I had no choice but to leave my mother to take care of herself for the time being. Even so, there's absolutely no excuse to hire someone to assault you in order to cause a miscarriage. That's just beyond insane.
I have to agree here. I don't think I can forgive her for this. She crossed the line. But at the same time, I can't help but think that the baby might have died because of me. I should have done more.
Angela, stop. Don't say that. Please. You have no responsibility in this matter. Don't blame yourself for my mother's reckless behavior. Our child survived. They were strong. Strong enough to overcome this horrid and malicious attack. We are going to protect this baby together from now on. We need to stay strong together. Don't you think so?
You're right. Thanks, Dan. I don't know what I would do without you. Oh, I just got a message from your mom. What should I tell her?
You did. Hold on a second before you reply. We need to be really careful with what we say and make sure she doesn't get the upper hand. I think we shouldn't say anything about the incident to her just yet. Angela, are you okay? How are you doing? To think that something like this could happen. Some men barged in and assaulted you, right? I heard you were at the hospital recovering. You must be in a lot of pain. I hope you get better soon. And poor child. I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm really heartbroken as well.
Oh, just cut the act. I swear I'll never forgive you for this.
Excuse me?
I'm sorry, Dan, but I can't hold it in. I just can't.
What? I don't understand what's going on. Why are you getting all upset, dear?
I already know this is all you're doing. There's no use in trying to play dumb. You hired a guy named Jones to come and assault me, right? We have evidence.
Just hold on. What in the world are you talking about? I would never do something like that. How could you even assume that I was a part of this? I'm quite hurt.
Oh, so you really are going to try and play dumb. Are you sure that's what you're going to choose to do here? The more you try to cover up your crime, the worse the consequences will be later on. Are you really okay with that?
Well, I don't even understand what's going on, so I really don't know what to say. What crime? Who is this guy? Jones? I don't know anyone that goes by that name.
Okay, then why did you know it was two men who committed the crime?
I mean, it was on the news.
I told the police that there was only one guy involved. Which means the fact that there was more than one person involved shouldn't have been announced on the news.
What?
I just found out just now that there was one more guy named Manson who was working as the lookout. So, how did you know it was more than one guy?
I mean, you know. Yeah, these sorts of incidents usually involve a pair of guys working together, no?
What a pathetic excuse to make. I don't even care anymore. You're just one shameful fool, aren't you? Do you even feel any remorse about what you did?
How dare you? A fool? You've got to be kidding me. You're the one who used my son Dan just so you could have a child. You're the fool who doesn't think about anyone but herself. Huh!
I used Dan? Are you serious? I know you don't even actually love Dan. You don't care about him. I already heard from him that it was your dream to raise your own child. For you, the father could have been anyone as long as you could have a child. Am I wrong? Yes, it's true that it was my dream to be a mother. But what does that have to do with anything? It's not like Dan was against the idea. He also wanted to have a child as well. You never said anything to me about having a child either. In fact, you said you were happy for me. So now, after months of being pregnant, you want to complain about it? I told Dan many times about how I felt, but that kid never listened to me when it came to you. He just kept being stubborn. I know you probably made Dan go against me, didn't you? He was always a good boy, listening to me obediently. Until you came along. I didn't even know you were against the pregnancy in the first place. He probably hid it from me because he was embarrassed about how pathetic you seemed. Understandable. A child born from a mother like you is way more pathetic if you ask me. Don't make Dan waste his life away raising a child like that. He deserves better. If you cared about him even a little bit, you would let him go. You know what? I really do feel for the fact that you lost your husband. I know it must have been hard. But that doesn't give you the right to control your son like this. You need to take responsibility for your own baggage. You don't know anything. My husband and my son are the reason I keep living. Everything I did for them. After my husband died, the only family I had left, you took away from me. How could you possibly understand how I feel? You have no right to lecture me like this. Took him away? That couldn't be further away from the truth. Dan is a grown adult who is capable of making his own decisions. And besides, Dan always tried to make time for you. Why are you being so selfish? Do you even care about how Dan feels? Whatever. At least Dan understands the situation clearly now. He must have realized how much I truly love him. Hopefully, he'll reflect on his actions and choose better this time. Reflect on his actions? How did you expect him to react? Dan already reported you to the police. Not only that, but he plans to cut you out of his life. What?
Mom, it's Dan.
Oh, Dan, I'm so glad. You understand how I feel now. I did this all for you. You know how much I care about you, right? You're going to prioritize me from now on, right?
I'm sorry to say that I don't consider you my mother anymore. The police are trying to find you right now. Either stay at home until they get there or turn yourself in. There's no way you'll get out of this.
How could you say that to your own mother? After everything I've done for you, this is what you do to me?
You are a criminal, okay? In fact, you are practically a murderer. Do you understand that?
What? That's ridiculous. I was just doing what was best for our family.
That guy Jones ended up hesitating a bit before punching Angela in the stomach, and the impact wasn't as strong. Who knows what would have happened if he had attacked Angela full force?
Isn't it all okay now, then? It's not like Angela had a miscarriage. The baby is safe. I feel bad about what I did. So let's just let bygones be bygones and raise the child together. Let's start over. I really give up this time.
There is something seriously wrong with you. Don't tell me about how bad you feel now. Save it for the police.
The police? What, I'm getting arrested too?
Obviously. Hiring someone to commit a crime is a crime in and of itself. And I could never forgive you for harming my precious wife and child. You crossed the line.
Please, don't do this to me. Don't leave me alone like this. I swear, I'll die. I was just so lonely. It was so painful. Losing my husband. The grief that was just too much and I couldn't recover from it. I made a foolish mistake is all.
I know it must have been difficult losing your husband, but trying to end the life of an unborn baby is absolutely inexcusable. Did you really think I would forgive you for doing this? Please, just don't say anything anymore. It's really painful seeing my mother in such a pitiful state.
You think I'm pitiful? I'm happy to hear that. That you still care about your mother.
I'm not actually pitying you. You're just too pathetic to look at right now.
Fine. Whatever. I don't care what happens anymore. If I'm gonna get arrested, might as well fight to the end and go all out.
Fight till the end? What do you mean by that? Let's just calm down now.
I'm already in front of the hospital. Come out.
Hey, what are you thinking of doing? Knock it off! You've done enough already. Huh. Why is the emergency alarm going off? What did you do?
Oops. What do you know? I punched the nurse at the reception. If things were going to end up like this, I should have taken matters into my own hands from the beginning.
What the? I just heard that you're holding a knife. You need to stop right now!
Oh, the knife? I'm gonna make sure to take that baby out of your wife's stomach. Just you wait, little one. I'll save you from your misery. Oh no, look what I've done. Gosh, I just stabbed the security guard on accident.
Stop, just stop! I beg you, just calm down already!
Dan, what happened? Is everything alright?
My mom was finally arrested. The nurse at the reception suffered light injuries. As for the security guard that was stabbed, it thankfully wasn't life-threatening, since it was his shoulder. It seems like he'll be able to have a complete recovery with no after-effects.
I'm really relieved. I was so worried. I thought I would have a heart attack when I heard what was happening. But how about you, Dan? Didn't you suffer some injuries as well?
Oh, it was nothing. Just some small cuts. Honestly, it's a bigger deal that my designer shirt is all damaged now.
Just come back to the hospital room as soon as possible. I just want to make sure you're okay. And I just need you by my side right now.
I'm still being questioned by the police, but I'll go to you as soon as it's all finished.
Sorry. I know you have a lot to process as well. This must have been a lot for you, too.
No, I feel a lot better now. It's okay. There's just one thing I'm really scared about.
What? What is it?
I've been getting non-stop calls from my workplace. Probably because I didn't show up at work today.
After the incident, Jones, Manson, and Sandra were all sent to prison to do time for their crimes. Consequently, an undercover police officer infiltrated the crime syndicate that Jones and Manson were a part of. After the syndicate was taken down, the peace of the town was restored. With Sandra gone, Dan and I have been able to enjoy our married life together with no one to bother us. I was able to safely give birth to our child, and the three of us now live together as one happy family. Seeing my child grow up little by little gives me so much happiness, but I don't think I'll ever be able to let my guard down again when it comes to the safety of my family and the security of our home.